Board Game Geek has unveiled the results for their 2016 Golden Geek Awards. They do this every year. They've been doing the nominations leading up to this. You could have voted. If you didn't, I'm sorry, you missed it. But basically,
your favorite game didn't make it on because of that. Congratulations.
It's because of you that the Jar Jar Binks adventure game.
We were one vote away.
Sure, it didn't come out in 2016. Technicality.
It comes out every year.
Or hopefully it never comes out if you're lucky. Scythe basically swept the awards. It got best game, best solo game, best artwork, best strategy game. I have the full...
no, it's interesting because, I mean, it did sweep the awards, but it got a bunch of honorables. But there are a bunch of other games that I'd say made second place, the honorable mentions in a lot of categories too, so it's not like...
Well, maybe I didn't put down the runners-up, but I'll go over some of the bigger winners that we can talk about. Best two-player game was Star Wars Rebellion. Best card game was Arkham Horror, the card game. Best co-op, Mechs vs. Minions. And most innovative, they gave to Captain Sonar. Probably makes sense. I know Codename Pictures got a couple for like Best Party, Best Family. Yeah, I don't know. What were the runners you noticed?
Well, no, the runner-ups, honestly, I saw were mostly Scythe, Arkham Horror card game, Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. Those are really, I saw almost, if they weren't centered, they were on the sides. I think only Innovative with Captain Sonar was there, because Scythe was one of them.
Right, I remember that.
And the other one was the only one was a game I didn't actually hear of. Everything else, outside of maybe Party and Family.
I mean, it makes sense,
There's a good chance that those three games, one of those three games are in it. I mean, it makes sense. And I mean, we've talked about this with awards. If something wins best, it's probably gonna, hit a lot of things.
You also have to remember this is user nominated, so unlike a official at a convention or the Spiel des Jahres, this is based on what people actually have been playing. So a lesser known game isn't gonna get it's you tend to see the biggest selling games in this list.
Right. I mean. And not that we're saying that other games don't deserve it, but I mean, I feel like there's a reason those games are in the second place or first in these categories, almost everything. I mean, you haven't played Mansions yet.
Correct.
But you've played the other two, and I'm pretty sure you've really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it, I was like, yeah, these are all good games. It did seem a little... I mean, there aren't that many categories. I'd like to see some more categories, actually. Maybe
I mean, that's always a thing with awards, too. When you break down, there's always one group that you think deserves that's not there. But I should mention that I know run-ups for best was Terraforming Mars was one of them.
Right.
I'm blanking on what the third one is. But... I mean, that's the one other game, the two games that are on our miss list.
Right, our list of shame.
And Mechs and Minions, which I still think is pretty good, considering.
Yeah, we did pretty well. So, overall, a predictable, but mostly well-deserved, I think. I mean, there's not really a good way to solve this, unfortunately, with board games. It's hard to be able to play a lot of them unless you're even us.
We're proud that we missed those. And our shelves are filled with things and even though you played them, it's not just playing it once. There's so many games that we're we want to get 10 games of this in before we can really talk about it, but we don't have...
I wonder if things like Tabletop Simulator really expand and take off, maybe that'll be a good way for people to experience more games that aren't necessarily in print or aren't the most popular games.
I mean, that definitely will, but in the end, an hour is still an hour.
It's still an hour. I mean, it depends on what planet you're on or something. But yes.
But I mean, there's only so much time you can devote.
Yeah. Well, you can take a look at the full list. So we got the link down there and see if there's any you agree with or disagree with.
Yeah, I'm definitely be curious. I mean, I think overall, like I said, most of the things that I knew, I was like, yeah.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, it was just a snippet of our full-length podcast, which you can find on our YouTube channel every week. So please go ahead, like, and subscribe for more board game-related content coming at you in the future.
And don't forget to check out rollforcrit.com, where we actually sell a lot of the games we talked about, as well as post news and all our other videos. Until then, I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes, and this is Roll for Crit.